Hello Dragon Ballers, it's Dokkan Taro, and today we are going to discuss Farmable Super Attack. Farmable Super Attack Part 1, right up there if you want to get caught up on everything else we've been talking about. There's also a Part 2 that is linked to that video. Get all caught up and then come back. First, we're going to discuss a couple of units that I missed. The main, well, there's two really. So LR Goku, LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku that is, starts off in his base form. So that means that the R Goku from the Epic Showdown event can farm into him. You can only get him to SR before he Dokkan awakens to Angel Goku or Super Saiyan Goku if you're in JP, and that's only a 5% chance. So you can do it that way, but you'll have better luck with, on Global, the upcoming Universe Survival Arc whatever story event where you have the SR Goku. You can get him to SSR, and that's a 50% chance. So that's a little bit better of a grind. He might even drop as an SSR. I don't know for sure. I think he does drop as an SSR, come to think of it. But anyway, another Goku you can farm is from the Battle of Gods event, and that is the R Goku. And he, once again, just like the tech one, only goes up to SR. It's easier to farm the tech one in my opinion, so there's almost no point in me mentioning him, but I do want to let you know you can feed this guy into LR Goku. Also, as far as semi-farmable goes, what semi-farmable means is that you can acquire certain SRs or sometimes SSRs that are very common that you get through summons that are in every banner in the general pool, and there are three Gokus that feed into LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and they are these guys right here. They're on every banner. You've probably seen them all a million times. These all can Z-awaken to SSR and feed in for a 50% chance. So that's what semi-farmable means, common SRs that you get through summons. Now, another farmable unit that we didn't discuss the last couple of times are Super Buus. Any Super Buu, but mainly these two I see run on teams. You can farm their super attack with the Kid Buu event. The first stage will drop this SR, just regular Majin Buu, and then you can use medals from this stage. I believe it's 3 of them, only 3 of them. So you can get 2 of them done with one Kid Buu grind, and that'll Dokkan awaken him into an SSR Majin Buu, which will Z-awaken a UR and feed for 100% into either of these Super Buus. The one Super Buu is the one that Dokkan awakens into Buu tanks. So that's very nice to have, and now we're all caught up as far as regular farmable super attack. This one is kind of an iffy. I was debating whether I wanted to put on the list, but I ended up going for it anyway. LR Gohan, we talked last time about how you can farm his super attack partially with Baba Shop Gohans. Well, if you happen to pull any of these Gohans, this SSR, you can Z-awaken him to UR, and you can feed him into this Gohan for 100% super attack raising chance. And this unit is not very good, so they could do something with him later, like a extreme Z-awakening or something, but in the meantime, I think his best use is to just go ahead and feed into LR Gohan. We've also got LR Bojack, who we did discuss. You can only go so far with those Baba Shop Bojacks, but we've also got this SR Bojack, which can Z-awaken to SSR. That gives you a 50% chance of raising this guy's super attack. So these are good units to hold on to, I guess is what I'm saying. If you pull a lot of them, maybe not necessarily Baba all of them, hold on to them just in case you pull the LR that you want, or just the unit in general that you want, because this is a good way to raise super attack and save your Kais. We've also got LR Ginyu. He can raise super attack from any of these Ginyus. The SR ones, I would say hold on to the SRs, don't hold on to the rares, because when you awaken them to SR, they only have a 5% chance, whereas the SR ones, when they go to SSR, it's a 50% chance to feed into super attack. So I would get rid of the Rs, keep the SRs. If you want to keep the Rs, go for it. I mean, it's your game, do what you want to do, but for me, that chance is a little bit low, and I would rather have a higher chance. Next, we're going to talk about Super Saiyan 3 Bardock and any Super Saiyan Bardock. Any Super Saiyan Bardock at all. I only have the one shown, but this works for any Super Saiyan Bardock. Let's talk about Super Saiyan Bardock first. So you can get this SR Bardock. He's been featured, a featured SR in a couple of banners, and he will be featured again on the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock banner. But you can acquire this guy. You might have tons of him already. You might have bobbed a bunch of them. Hold on to this guy because at SSR, he feeds for a 50% chance into any Super Saiyan Bardock. But once the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock event comes to global, it's already in JP. You can use the medals from that. You only need 21 of them, so that's 3 runs. And he Dokkan awakens into this SSR Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, who can Z awaken to UR and feeds into Super Saiyan 3 Bardock at a 100% rate. So that's very nice to have. Also, in addition to being regularly farmable, you've also got the Ultimate Gohan. Any Ultimate Gohan this will work for, but mainly we're talking about the Strength one because that's the main one that you're going to want to focus on for the most part. Is also semi-farmable through this SR Gohan. I'm sure you've all figured that out by now. Z awaken him to SSR. If that event isn't around, but you have a bunch of these, this is a good way to get his super attack up before that happens. But yes, he does have a regularly farmable super attack through a story mode, which we talked about in part 2. Moving on, let's talk about Omega and Sin. They are both farmable with the same unit, semi-farmable that is, which is this SR Sin Shenron. He's in a couple of banners as a featured unit, but he's in the general pool, so you could end up pulling a bunch of this guy. He feeds directly into Sin. As in SSR, it's a 50% chance, but you can also use the Omega medals from the event to awaken him into a Omega Shenron, and he's an SSR, so he raises to UR, and it's a 100% chance to raise super attack for any Omega Shenron. So that's very nice to have if you pulled a bunch of those. We've also got Cooler, who his farmable super attack guy, whatever you want to call him, actually is someone that you can pull, but once again, you have to go through the event that we discussed in part 2. But if you have a bunch of these from summons, it's better to hold on to them because it's one less thing that you have to do playing through that event. But part 2 is where we discuss how to get this guy fed into Cooler. So moving on, we've got Janemba, any Janemba. So you've seen a bunch of these. He's been a featured SR. He will be featured maybe a couple more times. I'm not quite sure about that. But you go to the Janemba event, get the Janemba medals, and you can Dokkan awaken him into this SSR Janemba, who Z awakens to UR and feeds into any Janemba at a 100% rate. So very nice to have. Let's talk about Super 17, and while we're at it, we'll talk about Hellfighter 17 and any regular Android 17, really. But in this case specifically, we're going to talk about the Trenchcoat 17. But this works for any Android 17. This unit is not called Android 17 GT, it's just Android 17. So with these guys, you've got these 2 common SRs that were featured on the Android 17 banner. Also, they'll be showing up all over the place. Very common units. You go to the Android 17 event, get the medals for these guys. They both Dokkan awaken into Super 17, and when they Z awaken to UR, they feed into Super 17 at a 100% rate. But in their regular forms at SSR, once they're Z awakened, they feed into their respective counterparts at 50%. So that's pretty nice to have. We've also got Kid Buu, any Kid Buu. I don't know why I included the other Kid Buus, honestly, but Kid Buu is semi-farmable. If you have plenty of this buff Buu, you can go to the Kid Buu event, get the medals for him, Dokkan awaken him into Sexy Buu, Z awaken him to UR, he feeds into any Kid Buu at 100%. So very nice there. And of course, these are units that aren't necessarily on particular banners. They're just in the general pool. You'll see them quite often. Just in JP right now, but this will come to global. Now Rage Trunks also has a semi-farmable super attack in this SR Trunks that was a featured unit on the Vegito banner, and probably will be on global as well. But of course, there are ways to just plain farm his super attack from 2 different story modes that we discussed in episode 2 of this whole thing. But if you have these guys floating around and you're not going to use the unit, why not try to feed in? It's only a 50% chance when it's at SSR though, so keep that in mind. Next, we're going to talk about Gotenks, any Super Saiyan Gotenks, the main ones being these two. I think the only ones actually that this works for. The AGL one we're not going to count because you can feed him while he's in his base form, so we're not going to talk about him. We've already discussed that. But you've got this Goten and Trunks that are very, very common units that you should have pulled a bunch of these by now. But you go to Gotenks event, you go to the second stage. This is crucial. The second stage is a different type of medal than the third stage. So the original tech stage, you want those medals. And that will Dokkan Awaken these guys into Gotenks, and you can Z Awaken them to UR. They feed into any Super Saiyan Gotenks at a 100% Super Tech raising rate. So that's very nice to have, very nice to know, and these units are incredibly common. Next, any Super Saiyan God Goku. Any Super Saiyan God Goku at all. What you're looking for is the White Hawk face-off Super Saiyan Goku, which is this one specifically. He's on all kinds of banners. You should have seen a bunch of them by now. If you go to the Beerus Dokkan event, which is probably very easy for most of you by now, unless you're just starting, in which case, maybe not so much. But for a lot of us, this is kind of a walk in the park kind of thing. You need, I believe, 5 of these Beerus medals, so that's 5 runs. Unfortunately, this hasn't gotten a buff yet. We haven't gotten a new Beerus card or a new Beerus event yet. But that'll Dokkan Awaken this guy into Super Saiyan God Goku, Z Awaken him to UR. He feeds for 100% into any Super Saiyan God Goku. He himself actually isn't that bad of a support unit in his own right, so there is that too, but that's the way to feed into Super Saiyan God Gokus, the other ones anyway. Also, let's talk about Pan, the main ones being support units. So this might not exactly be something that you care too much about because support units generally don't need to be at Super Attack 10, but if you have dupes, you can give them additional dodges or additional attacks if that's the kind of thing that you're into. However it works, but you've got these 2 common SR pans that are in pretty much every banner. You're going to pull at least one of them. I see them all the time. But you can Z Awaken them to SSR, and it's a 50% chance to feed into either of these SSR pans. Not Honey Pan, and yes, Waifu Pan, but first of all, I hate saying Waifu Pan. That just sounds wrong. But also, she's not optimal on any team, so I don't recommend wasting your medals on that unit. But these two, yeah, consider it if you have plenty of medals. Once again, with support units, like I've said in the last couple of videos, you don't want to burn up all of your medals for your support units. This is just if you have the medals for it and you have the cards for it, yeah, maybe try to increase their super attack a little bit. And then finally, we have Zamasu now has a semi-farmable super attack with the SR Zamasu that was featured on the Rose banner in JP, probably also going to be featured in Global. So this card can Z Awaken to SSR, and it can feed for a 50% chance into any Zamasu card. Not Fuse Zamasu, not Merge Zamasu, not Goku Black, none of that. It has to just be regular Zamasu, and that would be just these 2 units down here at the moment. So that's going to do it for semi-farmable super attack plus 2 types of farming that I missed in the previous 2 videos. Let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section. Should I have included somebody else? Did I miss something? Let me know any thoughts you have at all. And also, why don't you take a little gander at the poll there? There will be some options for what we should do next. Other people have suggested things, and there's a poll there, and you can vote for what you want to see, and then I'll do that video. So that's fun, right? Okay, if you don't like any of those options, hit I don't like any of these, and then leave your suggestion down in the comment section below. The most liked comment could become a video instead of one of these. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe. I always dig that kind of stuff. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.